Hey, what's happening, Wargamers? It is Leland here with you, and we are going to be going on a little journey together in this new series. We are going to be exploring the dark, frightening, terrifying world that is Kingdom Death Monster. So, come along with me as we find our 4 survivors waking up and as they take their first steps to the settlement that will either be their downfall or their survival. So, why don't we go check out the table? And here we have our 4 survivors that have just woken up in the darkness. Now, in this particular instance, I have crowdsourced the names for our survivors here, and I will continue to do so over the span of this campaign. So, wherever you see this video, you can either follow me along on social media, on my Facebook page, or if you ever see me putting up a poll, I'm definitely looking for some survivor names. So, from left to right, we have Amy, we have Todd, we have the unkillable Lizu, and he's either going to die very fast or carry the entire team. And we have, I think, my personal favorite name, I'm a Human. So there we go. There are the 4 survivors, and they are going to be going up against the White Lion. So let's go get that board set up and get started. Here we are on the hunt board. Everything is set up. Now this one is just the tutorial fight, so it's going to be pretty straightforward. It's a specialized deck the way the instruction manual puts it forward. And our 4 survivors are going to be going up against the White Lion, who is going to be getting the first turn. And as we start off the game, the first AI, and this is one of the coolest features of Kingdom Death, is going to be Claw, in which the lion will choose its target through either the closest facing in range, closest threat, or if there's no target, just sniff around. But as you can see, all 4 survivors are definitely within range of the lion. So the lion is going to move forward 6 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or in this case 5 is all he needs. And he's going to take a swing at one of our survivors. And the first swing is we're going to have the lion attack the unkillable Lizu, because we want to prove that he is either killable or that he's going to be invincible. And the first attack is going to be his claw attack, which has a speed of 2 and hits on a 2+ on d10s for 1 damage base. So 2 hits. Next up, we will determine where the damage is going on the unkillable Lizu. And we are going to be getting twice to the body. Now we don't want Lizu to die immediately, so we're going to spend the 1 survival he has by being named, and we're going to dodge one of those chest attacks. So he's just going to take some light damage to the body, but it's going to allow him to still strike back and not get knocked down this turn. Which will bring us into the survivor's turn, and I think what I'll do is we will start with I'm a Human, and she's just going to move back 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And because of the way this fight is structured, she is going to actually toss her only weapon in hand at the back of the lion. And there are 2 reasons for this. First off, the Founding Stone, when thrown, it actually causes 1 automatic hit that inflicts a critical wound, which is not to be confused with an automatic wound. So that's the first big thing right there. But secondly, with this particular scenario, the first hit location is a fixed hit location, which will always be the Strange Hand. And what this is basically if a critical wound is caused on it, basically she can then spend her only survival to treasure the moment and gain +1 permanent strength, as well as create a persistent injury on the White Lion. Now the downside is that the Founding Stone is then archived, which basically means it goes back into the box. However, a wound is caused, so what we do is we take one of these AI cards without flipping it upside down, and we just move it into the AI discard pile, which is this one right here. Sorry, we actually move it into the wound stack, which is right there. Which will bring us to our next survivor, and I think we're going to activate Amy, and she's just going to go 1, 2, 3 behind the line. And she's going to attack with her Founding Stone in the lion's blind spot. Now in this case, she is using it as a melee weapon, so it has a speed of 2, it hits on 7s and causes 1 damage. So let's see what happens. And 1 hit on a 7. Also, because she was in the blind spot, she would actually have +1 to hit, so it would actually have been hitting on 6s. So we draw the hit location to find out it's the Fuzzy Groin! Okay! And this is probably some of the greatest flavor text in the game. you hit the monster right in the ding-dong. And as you can see, there is a critical wound to this, in which I can gain a Lion Testes resource, as well as create a persistent injury, and basically incur the wrath of the lion, creating a permanently gaining the priority token, which basically means Amy would definitely want to be killed by that white lion, and she's going to have to try not to die. So the Founding Stone has a strength of 1, the lion has a toughness of 6, so that means I need to roll a 6+ in order to wound this lion. And if you see the little lantern symbol, which is that right there, that is a critical hit. 2, no wound. So unfortunately, I did not kick him right in the crotch, but it does. There is no failure reaction to this one, so thankfully the lion is not going to swing back. So what's going to happen is we're going to activate. Yeah, we'll go Lizu, the unkillable Lizu, and he's just going to go 1, 2, 3, right to the side of the lion there, and he is going to take a swing with his Founding Stone, and he will miss completely. Last up, we have Todd, and he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 behind the lion, and he's going to try the exact same thing. And in this case, he's going to get 1 successful hit with a 9. So we will find out what the card is, and it's going to be the Scapular Deltoid. And you can see there is a failure here. So in the event that we fail to actually, hurt the monster right here, then he is going to react. So I am really looking forward to wounding the monster here, just so we don't get that failure reaction. And we will... Uh-oh. We are not going to wound him. On this particular case, the failure reaction is just that the monster will move basically in a full straight line, taking him to the edge of the board. No one was in the way there, so he's not going to grab anyone. But it is going to bring us to the monster's turn, in which he is going to turn around, and we're going to find out what his AI is. So we draw up, and we have Size Up. So we have a random threat in field of view that he's going to go after, and he is going to attempt to intimidate them. So we have to choose one of our random survivors here, so we're going to go... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, 10 will be a reroll. So 1. So the unkillable Lizu is going to be attempted to be intimidated. So on a 4+, we're going to see 1 brain damage per monster level, so 1, and he is going to get knocked down. Oh yeah, so Lizu is going to get knocked down and suffer some brain damage. So when a survivor is knocked down, he will not stand back up until the end of the next monster phase. So basically, the unkillable Lizu is down for the count. So what we're going to do is we're going to move on to Todd, and he's just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he is going to take a swing at the white lion, hopefully doing some damage. And no wounds. Next up will be Amy, and she'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and she's going to do the exact same thing, hoping for some damage here. And that is a 9, so one hit. So we are going to see a hit location of the Beast's back. So there is another failure reaction here, but on a critical wound, I can cause a little bit of accuracy damage. So we are hoping for some damage here, needing a 5+ to hit that 6. Oh boy, no damage. So he is actually going to charge forward, and any survivor he passes over, he's going to grab them. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, grabbing I'm a Human, and forward 1 more. And as part of being grabbed, she is going to get knocked down, as well as take a damage to the waist. Now thankfully she does have a cloth there, so that is going to absorb that damage, and nothing serious is going to happen from it. And that is going to bring us back to the lion's turn. So we are going to choose, or not choose, but we're going to draw another AI card, and we are going to get Chomp. In this case, his target is going to be the nearest or closest threat in field of view. And when a survivor is knocked down, they are not a threat. So he's going to be looking at either Todd or Amy. So he's going to turn around, he's going to come all the way back here, and they're just kind of equidistant there, so I'm going to have him attack Todd. And in this case, it has a speed of 1, so 1 die is getting rolled, hits on a 2+ and causes 1 damage, and always targets the head. 7. So Todd just took some light damage to the noggin. But even on the head, that is a severe injury, and he is going to get knocked down. However, that is the end of the monster's turn, so that means both the unkillable Li Zhu, as well as I Am a Human. I'm a Human is going to stand back up. And we got to start doing some wounds on this lion because he still has some hit points left, and my guys are slowly getting hurt here. So I'm going to start with Amy, and she's going to swing into the back of the lion with her Founding Stone. So speed 2, hitting on a 6+. Yeah, 6+ because of the Founding Stones. And we're going to get 1 lantern, so that is going to be a hit. And she is going to be getting the ribs. So once again, we are looking for a 5+ to wound, hoping to get a lantern and a critical hit here. And that's a 1. So no wound, but no reaction this time. And what we're going to do is we're just going to keep going on, and we're going to get the unkillable Li Zhu to go up behind the line. He's going to do the same thing in the rear spot. So hitting on a 6+ because in the blind spot. And look at that! 2 hits. So in this case, we do draw 2 cards, and then we're going to choose the order in which they get resolved. So we got the Beast's Elbow and Fleshy Gut. We're going to start with the Fleshy Gut because that just has a basic action as a result if I fail to wound it, whereas the Beast's Elbow is going to cause him to run forward again and cancel all the other attacks. And on a critical wound, I can get vomited on and gain 1 basic resource and 3 insanity because it feels awesome. 4, no wound, which means the lion's going to turn around and take 2 swings at Li Zhu, needing 2 pluses, and that's going to be 2 hits, causing damage to his feet and waist. So the cloth will absorb that, and his feet will take the first bit of light damage. Now we're going to find out if I wound on the Beast Elbow here. And finally a wound, and a critical one at that. So in this case, it's going to cancel out his reaction right there. In addition, the monster howls in pain as a blow breaks its elbow with a sickening crunch. Non-deaf survivors gain 3+ insanity and may stand if they are knocked down. Now that is excellent because Todd is knocked down, and all my survivors are now going to gain 3+ insanity, which basically acts like armor for the head. Next up, we are going to have I Am a Human march forward 5 spaces and take a swing at the lion. She is now using Fist and Tooth, so she has a speed of 2. These are going to be hitting on an 8+, but there is no strength modifier here. So that is going to be 2 hits on the lion. And the location, oh, nuts. So what we've just done is we have drawn Clever Ploy, which is the trap card, which means all the hit locations get shuffled in, and we start to see a doomed, the attacker gets doomed, and a basic attack is launched against them. Basic attack is going to be 2 dice, hitting on 2 pluses. So that's going to be 2 hits to I Am a Human, and it's going to be hitting her both in the chest. And that is enough to knock her down. Alright, things are getting a little desperate here, so I am actually going to use Todd, and he's going to huck his Founding Stone at the lion, because I really need to be doing some wounds here. So, the hit location drawn is going to be the Beast Flank. So in this case, cats hate this. The monster is very upset, and the attacker gains the priority target token, which means Todd is going to be the recipient of the next attack. But because it is also a critical wound, the white lion is knocked down. Now, unfortunately, I have no more attacks going in on the white lion, so it means I'm not going to benefit from that 3+. However, there is another AI card that's going into the wound stack. So even though the monster is knocked down, the white lion's just going to stand right back up, so I'm not going to bother with moving him around there. And he's going to draw an AI card, and we're going to get Terrifying Roar. So all non-deaf survivors are going to get targeted, and he's going to attempt to intimidate them all. So in this case, on a 2+, a survivor is going to actually be I guess suffer 1 brain damage. Now thankfully I do have the 3 insanity, so that's going to be some protection there. But it does mean they are going to suffer some knockback, so they're going to get knocked back 6 spaces. So let's start with Amy on a 2+, yep. Then we're going to go to Li Zhu, yep. And we're going to go on to I'm a Human, yep. And we're going to go on to Todd. So they're all going to lose 1 of their insanity, and they're all going to get knocked back 6. So each one is going to go back 6 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then she's going to join him. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So as you can see, I am getting quite spread out here. And at the end of the monster's turn, I'm a Human is going to stand back up. And she's 6 spaces away, so 5 distance there. So she's just going to run back up, and she's going to attempt to Fist and Tooth the White Lion. So needing 8s to hit. So 1 hit. And going to get the beasts back here. So hoping for a critical hit. Now, in this case, Fist and Tooth is lucky. So on a 9+, it's actually going to be a wound, or a critical wound. But a 3 is not going to wound anything. And in reaction, the lion is going to run forward 6 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So thankfully not enough to actually do any real damage, but still, it's leaving my other survivors in the lurch there. We are going to move on to Lezu the Unkillable, and he's just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he is going to attempt to stab the lion with the Founding Stone, so needing 6+ for 1 hit. And that will result in the beast's tail. Needing a 5+ to wound. Oh, and it's a critical hit. So, not only did he wound and cancel the reflex, but the white lion's tail is also destroyed, ruining its finely tuned balance. There's going to be -1 accuracy token, as well as the lion tail white lion resource. So that -1 accuracy is going to make it a little bit harder for the lion to hit my survivors here. Not by much though, but any little bit helps. Next up, we have Amy, and she is going to just move around the flank here, and she is going to attempt with her Founding Stone to whack it again, needing 7s, or sorry, 7s, because she's not in the blind spot. And no hits. Lastly, Todd is just going to start hoofing it forward, moving forward, 5. On the lion's turn, he is going to get Terrifying Roar. So once again, all non-death survivors, and this is the one where they're going to take some brain damage. So let's see, Amy, yep, and then Lezu, yep, and I'm a Human, yep, and Todd, yep, and they're all going to get knocked back 6. And it's directly away from the line, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Todd is just itching to get back into the fight. But you can see how spread out they all are now. And the lion then will perform his basic action on the furthest target in range, which is pretty much a toss-up between Amy and Lezu. So he's actually going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 after Lezu, and take a swing at him, needing 3s to hit. 1 hit this time, and he's going to whack him in the feet, which is enough to knock Lezu down. Getting quite desperate. I don't want to use all my Founding Stones, but I think I got to. Amy's going to move up 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And she's going to toss the Founding Stone into the white lion, hitting his maw. So in this case, it is a critical wound, and it destroys the white lion's jaw, creating persistent injury. And then in addition, on a result of 5+ on a D10, the jaw flies off its face, and the attacker gains 1 courage and 1 survival, which will not happen. And these 2 survivors, they're just going to move up and basically try to get back into range so they can actually participate in this hunt again. And then it's going to move on to the lion's turn. So the lion will grab a claw. So in this case, yeah, so it's pretty standard here. It's going to choose the closest threat facing in range. So in this case, he's going to go after I'm a Human. And he's just going to go boop, like so. And he's going to take a swing, needing 3s to hit because of the accuracy. Yeah, it's going to hit with both. And it's going to cause 1 point of damage on each location. So the feet and the waist, which means she is now going to take light damage on both the legs and the waist, but she is still standing. It also means that Lezu the Unkillable is back up. I think it was right there. And we're going to start with I'm a Human here. She's just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And she's going to use her Fist and Tooth on the rear of the lion. Hitting on 7s here, I believe. Yeah, hitting on 7s. So 1 hit. Causing a wound to the soft belly. So once again, really hoping for a critical hit on this one. Needing a 9+ to crit. but it's going to create a persistent injury as well as give me some resources. And nothing, but thankfully there's no reaction. Next up we have Lizu the Unkillable, and he's just going to go around as well. And he's going to take a swing with his Founding Stone, needing 6s to hit. Yeah, needing 6s to hit. So 1 hit, and going to hit the Beast's Femur. So once again, no reaction, but hoping for a critical hit here. So needing that Lantern. No Lantern. But thankfully with +1 strength from the Founding Stone, that is still going to be a wound. Next up, we are going to have Amy move up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And she is going to use Fist and Tooth on the side of the lion there. So 1 hit on... Oh, nope, that's a 6. Never mind, no hits on the lion there. Lastly, Todd will get back up into the fight here. He's just going to move right there. And Fist and Tooth. So that's actually going to be 2 hits for once. Okay, excellent. So we're looking at the Glorious Mane as well as the Beast's Knee. So in this case, we have the impervious location of the Glorious Mane. So really just a critical hit is what I'm looking for, just to get some resources, which does not happen. So we get rid of that. And the Beast's Knee. So once again, no reaction. So we're looking for a critical hit here for to cause him -1 movement. But any wound will be good at this point. And nothing. And as we get near the end of the AI deck, we are going to see what his next move is, and we will have a Claw. So this is going to be the closest threat facing in range. Nothing facing in range, so it's just going to be the closest in field of view. And I think in this case, he's going to go after Todd right there, and just take a couple swings, needing 3+ because of the accuracy. So that's 2 hits, and going to hit Todd in the waist and the body. Now thankfully Todd is okay there, so he loses his waist armor and he takes some light damage on the body. Now one very important thing here, there's 1 AI card remaining, and it is that very annoying Terrifying Roar. So I'm actually going to burn my last Founding Stone from, what's his name? From the Unkillable Lizu, and I'm going to try and get rid of that one. So he hucks the Founding Stone, hits the Beast's chest, gets a critical hit. In this case, So I strike the White Lion Stout Heart, gain 1 random White Lion resource. I roll 1d10, and if the result is a 10, the White Lion dies instantly. So if I roll a Lantern, that lion is dead. Nope, not dead. But I did get a White Lion resource, as well as get rid of that Terrifying Roar, which was in the AI deck. And it brings the lion down to just 2 wounds remaining. And we're going to find out what the White Lion resource I got was, and we got a Lion's Claw. Next up, we are going to have I Am a Human just move back 5 around to the rear of the line and take advantage of that blind spot, needing 7s to hit. So 1 hit with the Lantern, and we are going to smack the Straining Neck. So once again, we are looking for a critical hit here where we can paralyze it or even kill it in 1 go with a critical wound. So let's see what happens. Needing a 9+. Nada, but no reaction. We're going to move on to Amy, and she's going to do the same thing, needing 7s to hit in the blind spot. So that's just 1 hit with the Lantern there, and we are going to hit the Beast's Temple. So if she fails to wound, it is going to cause a basic action attack, but hopefully we do a critical here. Hey, critical hit! Okay. The blow wallops the White Lion's head, causing shockwaves of blinding pain. Persistent injury. Whenever the White Lion draws an AI card, roll 1d10. If the result is a 1 or 2, discard the card and end the monster's turn. So that's actually excellent for me. Hopefully it takes effect. Actually, just realized it's not going to actually do anything because the last AI card was Claw, which is gone now, which means I just have 1 more wound that I need to do to the White Lion. So Amy is just going to back up and go over here, and going to give... Who have I not gone with yet? This is the start of turn. So Lizu the Unkillable is just going to go into the rear there and use his Fist and Tooth for 2 hits. Excellent. I'm going to draw a trap card, I know it. We're going to hit the tricep, and we're going to get the fuzzy groin. Okay, we got to go for the groin first. So looking for that critical hit, needing a 9+ to do a critical wound here. Oh! Just an 8. But that is enough to wound and kill the lion. So Our survivors have survived their first hunt against the white lion. So let us see what happens next. At the very end of the hunt, the survivors now get to reap the rewards, which is basically stripping the carcass of the lion. This is a very dark and terrifying world indeed. So they get 4 lion resources, which will be the white fur, the great cat bone, the white fur again, and more white fur added to the lion claw and the lion tail. That's a good haul for that. And then 4 basic resources, which will be monster bone, a questionable thing, which can either be an organ, bone, hide, or consumable, a monster hide, and monster hide. So I actually have quite a bit of hide going on here. And as our survivors return from the hunt, they enter into the second phase of this game, which is the settlement phase. After they defeat the white lion, the survivors wander the darkness, drawn to a soft glow blooming on the horizon. In this case, they have now discovered their very first settlement. So they move in, they recover all their health, they gain endeavors, so in this case 1 endeavor for each of the returning survivors for a total of 4. And then we'll move on to updating the timeline. At this point, normally we would draw a settlement event, but because this is the beginning of the settlement, we have our first day. So in this case, the first day settlement event helps set up the settlement, and it's the first event in any new campaign. The survivors wander, drawn to the blooming light in the distance. They find the serene comfort of a towering pile of lanterns and a small collection of scared people. On a deep instinctual level, they know this area is safe and they make it their home. So I'm going to roll a d10, and this is going to determine my starting population here. So we can then choose genders for all the unnamed survivors, and then we may name them as well, which gives them a survival, and create character sheets. And much like the other ones, I will be crowdsourcing these. So on a 3, we have 6 unnamed survivors plus the returning survivors. So we're going to have a total of 10 survivors in our settlement. Up next, we trigger the returning survivors story event. The first word. So we're going to nominate a survivor to utter the first words, and I think we're going to go with I'm a human. She's going to utter the first words. The nominated survivor steps forward and gains +1 courage. They lead the other survivors in learning to speak to one another. They discuss their situation, realizing they must hunt to live. The white lion query can be added as a hunt now. I've gained a language innovation for the settlement, as well as built the innovation deck, which includes any of the language subtrees there. And it will spark the creation of the innovation deck, which we just did. Excellent. And armed with the language, the nominated survivor aptly names the glowing center of their home the Lantern Horde. The settlement gains the Lantern Horde settlement location, which is this fella right there. The nominated survivor sits in front of the Lantern Horde in awe and gains +1 understanding. However, they must skip the next hunt. We then move on to the next phases. There is no death count to update, no milestones to update, but we might be able to develop. And first thing we're going to do with the Lantern Horde is we are going to innovate. So we're going to take one of our endeavors and then 1 of each organ, so 1 bone, organ, and hide, and we're going to innovate. We're going to use the question mark, the monster bone, and the monster hide for this. We're going to draw 2 innovation cards and choose 1. So we're going to get Inner Lantern, and we're going to get Hovel. And right off the bat, I'm going to choose Inner Lantern because it does give me the Surge ability, which is extremely useful, allowing me to interrupt an attack or get a second attack in or something like that. So we're going to use Inner Lantern, and we're going to use, so that's Inner Lantern consequences are going to be added to the innovation deck. Now, in retrospect, I probably shouldn't have innovated. I probably should have built a skinnery or something, just so I can get some armor. But unfortunately, that is not the way of things, I guess, in this settlement. So what's going to happen is we will move on to preparing the departing survivors as they go out to hunt their next quarry, which will be another white lion. But they're going out with just their fist in their teeth. So join us for the next match as our 4 survivors, which we'll nominate at that point, go out and see what they can bring back. So, thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. Hopefully you'll come back to see some more as we continue this adventure in Kingdom Death Monster. And we'll use our remaining three endeavors, to build a bonesmith, a skinnery, and an organ grinder. Our settlement is starting to take shape. We now have the option of starting to create a little bit of armor for us. So we're going to see what we can put together, what we have available to us. And we are going to use our organs. We're going to make a full set of the raw hide gear. So we're going to have a full set of armor there. And we're going to make a couple bone blades. And then our survivors are going to get ready to depart. And you will find out which 4 survivors are departing on the next hunt as they go to hunt down another white lion in the hopes of collecting more resources to survive another day. So thank you all for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this adventure into Kingdom Death Monster. Hopefully you guys will come along and check out the next video when it pops up. And as always, I love to hear back from you, so be sure to leave a comment below and hit that like and subscribe button and that little bell to be notified of new videos when they come up. And as always, happy wargaming.